Hello and welcome to the lecture series of the National Services Scheme NSS of Dayalbagh Educational Institute, Agra. I'm your host, Dr. Arun Pratap Sikarwar, and I shall be the moderator of this lecture dedicated to the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav being celebrated for the 75th year of independence of India. We are fortunate to have with us Dr. Debojyoti Dutta, who shall be having a presentation over the same theme entitled Brief Sketch on the Role of Science and Technology in Pre and Post Independence India. Our country is proud of having immense role of contribution to science, technology, engineering and medicine since time immemorial. Even before the independence of our country, we were having great scholars, intellectuals, scientists, and even Nobel laureates in our country. Now, let me have a brief introduction of today's speaker, Dr. Debojyoti Dutta. He is presently serving as assistant professor at prestigious A.B.N. College, Cooch Behar, West Bengal. This college is one of very prominent colleges in West Bengal and is 133 years old and has produced a great legacy of scholars as its alumni. Dr. Datta has a bright academic journey of having a doctoral PhD degree as well as MSc, MPhil, B.Ed and also Bachelor of Music degree. He had twice qualified country level competitive exams of CSIR UGC Junior Research Fellowship GRF and also GATE Life Sciences exam. So far, Dr. Datta has supervised more than 40 master's and MPhil dissertation theses. He had dozens of research publications in national and international reputed journals, book chapters in proceedings and textbooks, and have attended several conferences throughout the country as a prolific author and scholar. Dr. Datta is an active life member of Indian Science Congress Association, Indian Society of Cell Biology, and Electron Microscopical Society of India, and so on and so forth. With this brief introduction, now I would like to invite Dr. Debojyoti Dutta to present his lecture entitled Brief Sketch on Role of Science and Technology and Pre-Independence India. Over to you, Dr. Datta.
Thank you, Dr. Arun Pratap Sikarwar. I very much proud to be a part of this prestigious college, which was established in 1888. Perhaps all of us know there are three Acharya in our country. One is Acharya Prafulla Chandra Roy, second one Acharya G.C. Bose, that is Jagadish Chandra Bose, and Acharya A.B.N. So our first principal of this college was Acharya A.B.N. So when I see this topic in this specific virtual forum, let me clarify first three of the different quotations. All are not scientists, but this is very much related to our rich cultural heritage as well as scientific temperament of our country, the great country India we live in. First one from Albert Einstein, quote, "We owe a lot of Indians who taught us how to count, without which no earthward scientific discovery could have been made." So this particular picture is taken in this particular picture actually taken by the forum when this specific Einstein met our great personalities of our country, that is Rabindranath Tagore. At the same time, Mark Twain, one of the great authors of America, and as per Mark Twain's voice, India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great-grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most instructive material in the history of man are treasured up in India only. And this is actually who saw former ambassador of China to USA, see this statement: India conquered and dominated China culturally without ever having to send a single soldier across the border. Altogether, the emphasis of this particular slide is that we have rich cultural heritage, tradition, as well as we have very good scientific personality in our country. So if you see the Indian science and technology in prehistoric dates, let me clarify. I classified the total era in three different positions. That is prior to independence, that is prior to 1947, and the second is from 1967 to that is 1987 and 1987 to present. If you see the prehistoric dates, so history of philosophy, scientific discovery and development of India dates back in the Vedic era. At the same time, if you see the Pythagoras is also who did their geometric theorem before that is the Indian scholar, that is Aryabhatta. We did the geometric theorem before the Pythagoras, who did in 16th century. So therefore, if you see the entire which is being written over here, the Harappan civilization also having the decimal system they actually used during their daily work. At the same time, the concept of astronomy, metaphysics, perennial movement, as well as embodied in the Rig Veda. Although the Chinese used the decimal based on counting system, but it was formal notation. It is being done by the Arabian country. So India having a good scientific temperament as well as very good gesture on that particular science and technology. So if you see the science and technology in pre-independent India, so this is a kind of polar which I created for our student or the specific NSS volunteer. So this is Aryabhatta, this is Charak. At the same time, this is Charak Samhita, this is Sustrata, this is S.N. Bose, this is C.V. Raman, and this is J.C. Bose. All are equally important, who are actually having a kind of legacy on Indian science and technology. First begin with the Aryabhatta. I have to explain this kind of thing because after independence we learn much more because we are acquainted with this, but the students who are actually now in BSc classes or MSc classes, they did not know much about the historical perspective of Indian science and technology. So Aryabhatta lived in Pataliputra, where he wrote his famous treatise, the Aryabhatta Siddhanta, but more famously the Aryabhatta, the only work to have survived. It contains mathematical and astronomical theories that have been revealed to instant. He wrote that if 4 is added to 100 and then multiplied by 8, then added to 62,000, then divided by 20,000, the answer will be equal to the circumference of the circle of diameter of 20,000. So this calculation is 3.1416, which is very much close to the actual value of pi. Pi is, we know, 3.14159. But this greatest contribution has to be the zero, the concept of zero. His other work include algebra, arithmetic, trigonometry, which we read or do practice in HS classes, quadratic equations, and other things. So, if you see this, that is the specific Charak Samhita. So the Charak Samhita Sutra is an ancient Indian Ayurvedic text. So this is Charak Samhita, Ayurvedic text on internal medicine written by Charak. It is believed to be the oldest of the three ancient treatises of Ayurveda. It is central to the modern day practice of Ayurvedic medicine, and along with the Sanskrit Samhita, it is now identified worldwide as an important early source of medical understanding and practice independent of ancient Greek. So nowadays we know Ministry of Ayush is there, who are contributing much more, but the concept is actually coming from Charak Samhita. So this is actually the figure of Sushrata, who is regarded as the father of surgery. Sushrata Samhita is a Sanskrit text on surgery attributed to Sushrata in 16th century BCE, the father of surgery. The original manuscript has not survived because on that particular day there is no scanner, no these kind of digital imprintings and others, and only copies and revision of revisions exist. The Bowel manuscript holds some of the most important information related to early Ayurveda. Today, we are very much know that be specific the cataract eye surgery. It is being done by the laser and other things. But Charak at that time, see, at that time, Charak do this kind of surgery with the help of this kind of inbuilt forceps and other. So this is another thing which are having a kind of significance of Indian traditions of science and technology. The first slide we saw the figure of the specific, that is the picture of the specific Einstein along with the Rabindranath Tagore, and here Einstein with the A.B.N. Bose. The particle physics, basins of the particle which obey Bose-Einstein statistics. They are named after Satyendranath Bose and Albert Einstein. In contrast to the Fermian, which obey Fermi breaker statistics, several basins can occupy the same quantum state. Thus, basins with the same energy can occupy the same place in space. Therefore, Fermions are usually associated with matter. To the distinction between the two concept is not clear, but taught in quantum physics. So this is Chandrasekhar Venkatara Raman. He is one of the Nobel laureate and great Indian physicist. He is recognized for his work in molecular scattering of light, and which is also nowadays known as Raman spectrum, and for the discovery of Raman effect and named after him. And we know Jagdish Chandra Bose, one of the great scientists ever produced in our country like India. At the same time, we know the episode, that is the tragic episode of making radio signals or making video. At the same time, Jagdish Chandra Bose having good contribution towards the development of seismograph and other. Okay, so if you see what exactly science and technology means, science and technology is a kind. These are two terminology which are actually associated to each other. It leads to certain inventions. This leads also certain technological process. It includes everybody has used in modern technology, and it also having pitfall of using modern technology in life. After the specific corona outbreak, our entire life, be specific to social life, cultural life, is directly or indirectly hampered by this kind of overuse of scientific technology. But if you see why I am just using this kind of pitfall, in our lecture we try to see what kind of pitfalls we have. This is a particular collage where you see the different electronic gadgets which are using each and every day, and this particular slide or this particular picture give you a snapshot how this kind of evolution of scientific invention is going on. Suppose this is the wheel nowadays, train and other things, this kind of wheel actually being produced, the steam engine modified by the electronic engine, this light nowadays modified by the LED, and this is the telephone which was invented by the Graham Bell. Nowadays we are utilizing cellular phones and other, and these are the different things which we can see. At the same time, I would like to limelight this particular picture, because if you know this particular kitchen, that is the modern day kitchen, from the very beginning of the micro oven to other things, all are invented by science and technology. So we have to see this particular science and technology in different dimensions. Now, since I am the student of biology, the specific zoology, this is a particular collage where this particular slide or this particular area is meant for the outbreak of coronavirus. At the same time, inventions of vaccines of coronavirus. This is also one of the achievements of our country. At the same time, X-ray, then the specific artificial limb manipulation, then the heat detection, that is the rapid antigen test, then that is the ECG, and that is CT scans, DNA related thing, all are related with the scientific discovery. This is a kind of modification where we are using tango nowadays. It is being converted with a four-wheeler which we are going to do thing. This is a modern classroom where you see all our electronic gadgets which are now going on, and now still we are attending this virtual forum with the help of science and technology. And nowadays non-conventional energy is also in limelight, because the fossil fuel, that is the petrol and coal, is going to just depreciate. So therefore we have to think about the non-conventional energies and other things. So to begin with the science and technology, I take this particular snap when I went for the excursion with my student at Sundarban, one of the mangrove forest area. If you see the two different rope over here, what is the difference between these things? Thing is that left side rope where I see this thing, this is actually real okay, because the person who know the technology how to reel it, then and there they can extend their this particular boat in near to spar. But the person who are not to use this particular technology how to reel it, so they will face some kind of difficulty. So these are the things. That means science and technology, the specific technology, is the sum total of all techniques by which you can change your environment. But these environmental change should be eco-friendly. This change should be adopted in such a way that the next generation will feel the benefit of this thing. So if you see role of science and technology in today's life, from the very beginning of the health aspect to standard of education, because we know nowadays we are going to discussion forum on online teaching or something like this. So this will be going on again and again. So this will continue our journey towards the online teaching. Availability of the healthy food and safe drinking water and infrastructure, all are the specific related with the science and technology. And science and technology after independence, if you see, after independence, our aim to convert India's economy into that of the modern state and to feed her into the nuclear age and do it quickly. Quickly means after independence, we have to achieve our target in a very fast way or very fast manner. So the main justification of this large outlay on educational reconstruction is the hypothesis that education is the most important single factor that leads to economic growth. So if you see Mudaliar Commission, then Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Commissions and others, they also emphasize on science and implementation of science and technology in education system as well as in countries' well-being. So on 18 August 1951, Minister of Education Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad inaugurated Indian Institute of Technology at Kharagpur, West Bengal. So this is very old snap, but if you visit IIT Kharagpur, this is tremendously changed, but the motto is same to actually build some kind of techniques and tools which can be utilized at the grassroots level to solve the problem of our country's India. So radio broadcasting was initiated in 1927 before our independence, but became state responsibility only in 1930. In 1947, it was given the name of All India Radio, and since 1957, it has been called as Akash Vani. Okay, so if you see 1967 to 1987, so nuclear reactor or nuclear power in India lie in early acquisition of nuclear reactor. This is also a picture of nuclear reactor. Ministry of Steel and Mine drafted a policy statement to evolve new model of managing industry. This is also being noted in this slide. Then you see the Aryabhatta. This is the Aryabhatta. So this is the satellite which is being developed by Indian Space Research Organization, and nowadays GPS, that is the GIS mapping, groundwater mapping, urban development, everything is going on with the help of this kind of satellite image and other things. In 1981, Indian Antarctic program was started, and when the first expedition was flagged off for Antarctica from Goa, and this nowadays each and every year we are sending this kind of expedition, and India's base station Dokkin Gangotri, it is also noted over there. From 1987, tremendous modifications been going on because Indian agriculture has been benefited from the development made by the field of biotechnology, for which a separate department was created in the year 1986 under Ministry of Science and Technology. Both the Indian private sector and government have invested in the medical and agricultural application of biotechnology. So economic growth is going on, and economic reform come into existence in the year 1991. IT, biotechnology, aerospace, nuclear science, manufacturing technology, automobile engineering, chemical engineering, shipbuilding, these are the certain achievement in this particular era. And in 2070, India became an associate member of prestigious European Organization of Nuclear Research. Okay, so if you see the space exploration, I am just giving you the two particular features side by side, one Chandrayaan 1 and Chandrayaan 2. See how technology is improving with Chandrayaan 1 with Chandrayaan 2. So Indian science and technology is much emphasis by the development of certain boards and council like Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. This is a premier national research development program. Then development of Indian Institute of Science, then Indian Space Research Organization, Defense Research Development Organization, and IIT. Nowadays, ICER also been coming out over here. At the same time, much more research institute is coming over here in the nowadays perspective. Nuclear power in India also being noted in this particular slide, and over here contribution of another famous scientist named as Meghnad Shah, the Pali professor of physics at the University of Calcutta, had recognized the significance of the discovery of nuclear fission and had begun to conduct various experiments in his laboratory related to nuclear physics. And in 1940, just immediately after 1 year, he incorporated nuclear physics into the university postgraduate curriculum. In the same year, that is in 1940, Sir Debojyoti Dutta Trust sanctioned fund for the installing a cyclotron at the University of Calcutta. All of us know this cyclotron nowadays recognized as Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, okay, which is situated in Calcutta, but various difficulties likely related to the where delayed the project. Okay, so if you see to continue the specific train, now you will see the Advisory Board of Research in Atomic Energy, a new department of scientific research and placed directly under the Prime Minister. The 3rd August 1948, just immediate after our independence, Atomic Energy Commission of India, that is AEC, was established and made separate department of scientific research with the Homi Jahangir Bhabha as the first chairman. So without much delay on the specific atomic energy, now we begin our journey towards commercial nuclear power, and this is not the last but least Indian defense technology. Nowadays, DRDO extend their research in different fields, which is actually given in this particular word diagram. So begin with the aeronautical engineering, electronics, armaments, engineering system. They are developing combat vehicles, missiles, advanced computing simulation. They do lot of works in life science. They are developing special materials. You will surprised to know the spider silk. That is, the spider made certain kind of silk. Nowadays, it is actually utilized in making bulletproof jacket. They do lot of work in agriculture as well, and of course, they will do certain kind of training as well as outreach activities, especially for budding scientists. Okay, so after doing all the things, India realized to develop certain academic bodies. So first of this thing is Indian Academy of Science, also referred to as Bangalore Academy previously. Indian Academy of Science was founded by the 1934 by C.V. Raman, one of the eminent physicists of his time in Bangalore, Karnataka. Then National Academy of Science India came into existence, and founder presidents of National Academy of Science India was Dr. Meghnad Shah, and you will be surprised to know in the year 1930 it was established in Allahabad. Nowadays it is called Prayag, Uttar Pradesh, India. Then Indian National Academy of Science. This is also extension of Indian Science Congress Association and Indian Institute of Science of India with Dr. Meghnad Shah's blessing. See the temperament of Dr. Meghnad Shah. You will surprised to know Meghnad Shah also being involved with certain good politics in our system, political system. So see the temperament of Dr. Meghnad Saha. He is actually established National Academy of Sciences as well as Indian National Academy of Science with Dr. Meghnad Saha's blessing. This INSA, that is Indian National Science Academy, is based in New Delhi. They, according to to its charter, the historical aim of INSA was to similar of Royal Society of London, a gathering of learned people to exchange idea and further improvement and utilization at the grassroots level, specifically for the budding scientists and students. Now, my dear student, will go the drawback of utilizations of science and technology in different aspects. So everything having good aspect, but it can turn into some bad aspects like cybercrime and cyber security. Nowadays we are very much aware of this thing. The crime may be of different type. This is unwanted mass surveillance, hacking, child grooming, money laundering, and cyber extortion and terrorism. So we have to very much aware of this particular fact. Nowadays, one of the big question or $1 million question, how to do this kind of security or how to save our data in a secure mode. Please pay attention to the following. We have to learn the security architecture, network diagram, because all are you are learned people, security assessment procedure, security policy, risk management policy, backup and restoration procedure, disaster recovery plan, and risk assessment procedure. Okay, so we have to keep in mind these particular points when we have to do this kind of thing. Nowadays, interdisciplinary aspects between the science is one of the great uh, area of research. So this is one of the example. Okay, artificial intelligence. So if you remember this, this is a flower. These are the different patterns, and ultimately flower name is artificial intelligence. So what are the patterns or what are the domains which are associated with the artificial intelligence? These are computer science, psychology, neuronal science, or be specific neurobiology. These are also interlinked, mathematics, sociology, and of course philosophy. So artificial intelligence is an experimental science being developed with the purpose to understand the nature of intelligence through thought and subsequent action. It is presented by the machines and software. So if you see, that is the voice recognition by computer system. I just would like to remember when I have to do certain species identification in our field, we like to do sonogram test. That means with the help of voice recognition or sound recognition, you can identify the kind of this kind of species recognition as well. Image interpretation, face recognition, technology of biometrics, we are very much aware about our attendance and other things. Driverless vehicles and communication with the other machine are the different facets of artificial intelligence which we are nowadays utilize each and every day. But if you see, the application is more broad spectrum specific. Its application in the medical field, accounting database, computer games, and application in enhancing human intelligence is also being verified and also being utilized with the help of artificial intelligence. Now, since we are crossing more than 25 minutes of time, now this is the slide which I would like to share with you. This is written in English, but the thing actually written in Bengali. Okay, so this is, I'm just repeating the words over here. আবার তো হবে দেখা, এই দেখাই শেষ দেখা নয় তো. That means we'll meet again. This is not the end, this is the beginning. Last of all, in my life, I recognize 5 different kind of peoples which are found in a society. First is leader, second thing is the demonstrator, third type is participator, fourth is listener, and fifth type is very dangerous. They are called as destroyer. Since Dr. Arun make this kind of a virtual forum, all NSS volunteer is nothing but participator. Over here,
Yes.
leader is Dr. Arun. I am simply a demonstrator, and all NSS volunteers are participators to some extent. Listener, I think nobody will destroy us. And if we find a kind of destroyer, we have to choose them and we have to make them a lesson to convert it either in participator or listener or demonstrator. So be happy with this kind of a situation where we are going to celebrate 25th December as the Merry Christmas. Wish you all the best with good health, and this is the last one. This is the actual forum where I can express my thought towards Agra. We need a sustainable planet. Be specific, we need a sustainable planet where science, engineering, and education for sustainable well-being. And when I visited the page of Dayalbagh Institute of Educational Institute, I see this is also the motto of DEI, where science, engineering, and education mean for sustainable well-being. And this kind of thing not for us, but for budding generation like NSS volunteer. And thank you very much for your patient hearing, and I will be very appreciated if you have any kind of questions or doubt on anything on this particular topic. Thank you, Dr. Ravi.
Thank you, Dr. Debojyoti Dutta, for such admirable words for our university, as well as immense information you share for all of us. You have done a great work for the compilation and enumeration of battery of achievements of Indian scientists in science and technology. I would like to add upon that there are several Indians or Indian-born citizens who are head or CEO of various world-renowned organizations, including Google, Microsoft, and Adobe, and so on and so forth. So, Dr. Datta, how do you take this, brain drain, which otherwise would have been in India, would have been far better for Indian, upliftment of science and technology?
Actually, thing is that, Dr. Arun, thing is that brain drain is going on. Thing is that when you do a kind of a research, a kind of a security of your job as well as security of your family is needed. But in my view, in our country, still now after independence of 75 years, still now there is certain kind of lacking. At the same time, which I feel to being a state education cadre of West Bengal government, I see our primary education diversified in different areas. That means primary education should be same to each and every one. But in our country, primary education demarcated different kind of stratas of people. So some private school are there, some government school there, certain kindergarten school is there. So unless and until you can develop the primary education, if you see the Gandhiji's philosophy, that is also based on the basic education. So in our country, brain drain is going on due to the disparities of economic income as well as disparities in educational framework at the very beginning of the primary education. But I think nowadays with the very good that is the monitoring system as well as the scope of our country by our leading prime minister Modi days. Nowadays, it kind of trend is gradually changing because some of the good pioneer workers in our field, be specific in biology, nowadays they are coming back because large number of IITs is going on, large number of All India Institute of Medical Services is going on. At the same time, ISAR also been going on. So that's why I am very much opportunistic on that particular field also.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. On behalf of National Services Scheme of Dayalbagh Education Institute, I would like to thank you so much for giving us your precious time for this presentation. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Datta.
you.